Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, May 22nd, first day of kicking off Memorial Day weekend. And if you're watching this video right now, you probably have a good feel already of what we're doing today if you read the blog last night. So if you're here today working out with us, you are very much about to earn all of your hot dogs, burgers, beers this upcoming weekend celebrating the holiday. So to kick things off in your Memorial Day weekend, Friday, again, May 22nd, we just have a MetCon today. And trust me, by the end of it, you're going to feel that's all we need. So what we've got a 15-minute clock that's going to run continuously, or you can run it in intervals, that's fine, depending on what type of clock system you have at home. But how the MetCon will go, doesn't have a name. It's every 3 minutes for 15 minutes. We are completing 25 burpees and then going directly into max number of deadlifts in the remaining time in that 3-minute clock. So let's say 25 burpees on the first round. Let's say it takes you a minute and a half. You're then going to have a minute and a half to do deadlifts until that clock runs out. So that's how the first 15 minutes will go. You will have 5 rounds of that for 15 minutes, every 3 minutes on the minute. After that 15-minute period is up, we are going to rest 3 minutes, do nothing, lay on the ground, walk around, whatever's comfortable for you. And then right after that, we're going to go into a mile run, which is going to be for time. Your scores today are total number of deadlifts across all 15 minutes, and then your mile run will be scored separately. Okay? So obviously we're trying to make a good time on the mile run, and with all the mile running or just running in general that we've been doing over the past couple of months, hopefully you're not afraid of that anymore. But fitness today for weights, if you got barbells at home, or even if you're doing this at the gym or whatnot, I'm not sure what the schedule looks like tomorrow. But fitness is going 135.95, performance is going 155.105. And then open 185, 125, okay? Now, if you have dumbbells at home, same rule is going to apply here. Ideally, we use 2 dumbbells, 1 at each side. Your legs are going to be kind of shoulder width apart, and one head of the dumbbell, you will hinge forward and touch one head of the dumbbell to the ground and stand on back up. But of course, if you've already returned your equipment back to the gym or whatnot, any odd object at home, kettlebell, whatever you have, will work just fine here in this workout today. Even if you wanted to sub like kettlebell swings or something, again, please feel free to get creative if you don't have barbells at home. So again, we'll score the total number of deadlifts. We'll score the mile at the end. Going to do a brief breakdown here before we start the warm up of really just what I'm looking for and timing, and then we'll dive right into the warm up. Okay, so some tips on pacing and just really how to approach this workout. I know some of you are probably crapping your pants right now getting ready to hit this MetCon because it's going to be a doozy. There are going to be some of you that right out of the gate, you're going to hit 25 burpees and you're going to hit them so quick, you're going to feel great by the time you get to the barbell. Do not try to be a hero. Do not be that person that just punches the gas right from the get-go out of the gate. Because the rest of the 15 minutes, you're going to be huffing and puffing. 3-minute rest is not going to be enough for you to gear up for that mile run at the end. Burpees. We need to find a rhythm where we just maintain that same pace, hopefully from round 1, maybe to like round 3 or 4, and then we just find a way to suffer through the last 1 or 2 rounds. Do not come out of the gate sprinting those. I would be looking probably early on for most folks to have maybe about a minute and a half to a minute to do deadlifts. And of course, I don't want you, pushing yourself to the point of extinction on deadlifts either. I don't want you to start, grimacing in round 1, failing reps. So the way I look at it, and this is just for me, I like looking at things from a different angle, just kind of looking in a different direction after a certain number of reps or walking away for a second. For me, that just helps me clear my mind a little bit and forget about what I'm doing and, allows me to relax for a quick second. What I would be doing here, and you don't have to, approach it this way if you don't want to. This is just the way that I would recommend doing it. so we don't get too hot too early. Once that last burpee is done, I'd be stepping up to the bar. I'd be hitting 5 deadlifts. I'd be stepping over the bar, facing the other direction, hitting 5 deadlifts, back and forth and back and forth, all the way until that time runs out. And I would try to stick with that all the way until that 15-minute clock is done. Dumbbells you might be able to ride for a couple more reps at a time, but again, I don't want your grip to get shot. I don't want you to get your breathing all out of control in the first 3 to 6 minutes. From burpees to deadlift, let's find a rhythm. Let's find a pace on those burpees that we can maintain in and out, in and out. And on deadlifts, a comfortable set where you're not going to feel like you're biting off more than you can chew. So that's how I want that to be approached. After we rest that 3-minute period, again, we have a 1-mile run. That is all the way to the finish, and it is going to be scored. Tips for pacing there, run. If you want a good time, you got to run. So that's what we've got for our tips and pacing. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that helps you or it gives you something to think about. And now we're going to go into the warm-up. Okay, so first part of the warm-up is not going to start with a run. We will run a little bit after this first piece just to move around and get used to running before we run a mile and get the legs nice and loose for everything you're going to be doing in the MetCon. But first piece of the warm-up is going to be a 5-minute EMOM. So every minute on the minute for 5 minutes, I want you to complete the following. It's going to go from 10 reps all the way down to 2 reps. Every minute on the minute for 5 minutes, we will do 10 air squats, 8 lunges with just your body weight, 6 good mornings with just your body weight, 4 toy soldiers, so opposite hand to foot, kick up to meet, stretch out your hamstrings in addition to the good mornings that we do. So 2 on each leg for a total of 4. And then we're going to finish with 2 up downs, which is basically a burpee into a high plank. So you won't take your chest all the way to the floor. You're just going to take yourself down to the top of a high plank, replace your feet, stand back up without jumping, just get your hip open. So down to a high plank, replace the feet, stand up, don't jump. We've got 2 of those. That's every minute on the minute for 5 minutes. If you need to scale back that volume, please feel free to, but we're going to move for 5 minutes and do that. 10 air squats, 8 lunges, 6 good mornings with just your body weight, 4 toy soldiers or Frankenstein kicks, whatever you want to call them, and then 2 up downs. Every minute on the minute for 5 minutes. Once you complete that, come on back. Once that 5-minute EMOM is done and you're back with us, take off on a 400-meter run, nice little jog, and come back. Last part of your warm-up here, we're going to do some stretching, some active stretching, but it's going to be more of like a Tabata style format. So how this will go, we will have 4 separate things that we are going to do. We are going to run through this 2 times. There will be a 20-second clock, a 10-second clock, a 20-second clock, and again, a 10-second clock. Switching stretches or switching movements every time period, 20, 10, 20, 10. And we're going to go through that twice. So how this will go, you can set a clock on your phone, your watch. If you have a timer up on the wall at home, fine. Set it up for a Tabata style. Your first 20 seconds of work is just going to be side lunges back and forth. Stretch out your groin, inside part of your hips. 20 seconds of side lunges. When that 20 seconds runs out, a 10-second clock should begin. Those 10 seconds I want you to spend just giving me big arm circles, okay? After that 10 seconds of arm circles, we will do 20 seconds of hip pulls. You'll pull your knee up into your chest, or if you want more of like a pigeon style stretch, you'll pull that leg up and twist into the outer part of your hip, your glute. After that 20 seconds of going back and forth, we're going to go 10 seconds of bear hugs, just back and forth, okay? So the 20-second clocks, they're going to be spent on your lower half. The 10-second clocks, going to be spent on your upper body. We will do that 2 times through on your own. 20 seconds of side lunges, 10 seconds of arm circles, 20 seconds of hip pulls, and then 10 seconds of bear hugs. Once you go through that twice, come on back.
Did you see it? Your arms are. He's sitting.
She heard me calling out arm circles, bear hugs. So naturally, he wanted to get involved and show you how to stretch. The only other stretching I want you to do before you start picking up dumbbells or barbells, I want you to stretch your lats out. So whether that's up against a wall where you just put your hand up against and stretch into your armpit, your lats. Before we start pulling that barbell tight into your body from the floor, want to make sure we give those a little bit more love. So whatever you need to do to stretch those out, if you have a band at home that you can attach to a pull-up rig, something, go ahead and take a couple of minutes and do that. Once that is all done, grab dumbbells, grab barbells. We will slowly build up in weight to what you're going to use for the MetCon, and then we will get things started. I'm going to break right here just so I can repeat the workout one more time. And just a last minute piece of advice, and then we'll let you go. All right, so time to hit the MetCon. Hopefully your weights are ready to go. That's all you're going to need. You and a barbell, you and an odd object, you and your dumbbells, whatever you're using for deadlifts. Every 3 minutes for 15 minutes, so a total of 5 rounds. You're doing 25 burpees, and then in the remaining time in that 3-minute clock, you're doing max number of deadlifts. Again, bite-sized pieces on deadlifts. Do not push yourself to the point of failure, really at any point here. I want every set to be something where you pick it up for the first rep, you have no doubt that you're going to hit all 5 or whatever it is every single time you pick it up. After that 15-minute clock, we're going to rest 3 minutes, and we're going to hit a mile run. That's up to you on how you want to approach that, but we are going to score it if you're going to log your score in Wodify today. So total number of deadlifts, and then mile run time. Those are your scores. Have fun. I know when you come back to cool down here in, a half hour, you're going to feel very beat up. So again, good way to start off your Memorial Day weekend before we eat and drink like crap over the next couple of days. So go out, sweat, enjoy it. Come on back, and we'll do just a little cool down to get your weekend started, and we'll go from there. Good luck. Welcome back from that hellacious workout. If you're back here with us right now, congratulations. You're still alive. You made it. We've got just a quick little cool down or a couple things I want you to focus on hitting in your own independent stretching here as you wrap up or as you feel ready to. First thing is making sure that you stretch into your chest and the inside part of your shoulder. You just did 125 burpees over the course of that MetCon. And you're going to be doing a lot of push-ups here over the next couple of days in Murph if you're going to be doing some sort of version of Murph over the next couple of days. So please make sure that you spend some time stretching those out. Hamstrings are going to be another big thing to stretch out. Please make sure that you spend maybe at least a good 30 seconds to a minute on each leg stretching out your hamstrings. Same thing with your calves. We want to work off a similar clock for both legs there. And then I really want you to pay close attention to your hips as well. I know a lot of people from all the running that we've been doing and then just a lot of sitting at home during the day. I know some people have been struggling with some hip soreness and whatnot, just being real tight. Take the time to really stretch those out after everything that we just did today, because a lot of it, especially the running at the end, very hip intensive. Just a lot of pound. It may not feel like it whenever you're running, but I know a lot of people over the couple of days after they've been running have been really feeling it in their hips, and that's probably a big reason why. So make sure you spend some time in pigeon stretches, a butterfly position, a big standing straddle where you bring your legs all the way out as far as you can walk it into a split position, just to stretch in your groin, the inner part of your hips. Big stretches like that, along with just couch stretches up against the wall to stretch into your quads and your hip flexors. Big deep lunges to stretch into your hip flexors as well, and also just even laying on the ground, bringing your knee up into your chest and kicking it across your body, really, really good for the outside part of your hip and into your butt cheek. So those are the areas that I want you to focus on in your cool down today. chest and inside part of your shoulders. Lats could be a big focus there too, from all the pulling that you just did. Hamstrings, calves, hips. Spend time on your hips. So that's what we have for today. I'll be back with you here again on Saturday morning. So enjoy your Friday. And if you won't be with us the rest of the weekend here for Memorial Day weekend, enjoy your holiday weekend. And we're one day closer to getting back to normalcy.